I just want to thank everybody for coming, and don't know how many times I've been standing here on a Friday night, but the crowd is getting bigger and bigger. And I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause for taking a stand. For taking a stand for your country, for your town, for your family, for your daughters, and for your wives. You can be proud of yourselves for coming here tonight. I want to tell you something here tonight, folks. We could have been standing here tonight in the mouth of a tragedy, because we all know what's happened in the last week in Bangor. There's been a man called Suleiman Delalio prowling the streets of this town. He's been armed. The police apparently were phoned 9 times about this man. 9 times. He was only arrested yesterday. Now I want to thank those PSNI officers that arrested him yesterday. I'll never do this again, but I want you to give those officers that arrested that man a round of applause for taking... But we could have been looking at a Southport situation in Bangor, and can you imagine the difference in the way the atmosphere would have been tonight? We as the people of Bangor have got to make sure that never happens. Now, Stephen Nolan and the media, what do we think of Stephen Nolan? What do we think of these Liberal Alliance and Sinn Féin and SDLP politicians? In all seriousness, these people are traitors. And they're not just betraying the loyalist and Protestant people, they're betraying their own people as well. Because savages have been allowed to come into this country. Savages have come into this town. They all need to go. But what can we do? What can we do as a community? And I know many of you in this crowd, we've all lived in this town for years. Most of the people here were born in this town and brought up in this town. Well, I think it's time we took a stand. And those lads in East Belfast, give a big applause for the lads in East Belfast. Stephen Nolan, the BBC, the Belfast Telegraph, and the usual cabal of haters that hate on the Protestant loyalist community. They've continued to pour that hate on the people of East Belfast, calling them racist vigilantes. They're not racist vigilantes. They're men and women who love their kids, love their community, and have the guts to do something about it. Now, if we do this in this town, I want to say a couple of things first. We must make sure we do not use anything racist or behave like racist. That's the first thing. Secondly, anything we do must be within the law. But what I will say is there's plenty of men here, and it's time for the men of this town to stand up, take to the streets, and make sure that the streets of this town are safe. And I did a bit of research on the name Suleiman Delalio, or whatever his name was, and it appears that this name comes from West Africa, and the tribe that this man comes from have spent the last 30 years murdering black African Christians. That's what we've got coming into our communities. Our politicians need to wake up. If they want community cohesion, if they want to make sure everything stays calm and peaceful, they need to start getting these people sent back to where they came from.
Unvetted migration, that's the threat.
Exactly, unvetted migration. In fact, there's too much migration, full stop, but that's another story. So what we've got to do, we have got to start lobbying our politicians. We've got to start telling our politicians to take this seriously. Now, I spoke to Alex Easton this week. Alex Easton fully supports everybody here in this protest. And are closing the hotels down because of what we've been doing here on Friday night for 2.5 years. But that is only part of the story. My question to Alex and all the politicians is this. Once they close the hotels down, where do the men go? Where do they go? We don't want them here. We don't want them in Northern Ireland. We want them gone. So let's between now and next Friday, let's try and get organised, get some groups together. Remember, anything we do, we must not be racist, we must be peaceful, and we must do it within the law. Let's do something big next week. Let's get this town taken back for our country. And like I say, this isn't just for your families, it's for every single family in the town. And all those lefties and those people that criticise us as they go to the pub every Friday night, they should hang their heads in shame, because it's you that are going to save this country. It's you that's going to save this town. Let's just get it done. Thank you very much.